And your hair's brown.
All right. Welcome to Flash and/or Clue. I would love for you to find a seat for your little bottom so we can jump into some announcements. Welcome, everyone. Welcome to Flash and/or Clue. You know what? It's summer Flash and/or Clue. So great to see you. Great to see you. Who has already done so many awesome things this summer that they're tired and they need a nap? Yep, me too. I'm in desperate need of a nap.
Brendan,
Who took a nap today? Yes, good work, Elise. Good work, Shay. That's right, me too. I'm actually taking 3-hour naps. All right, welcome to Flash and/or Clue. Just so happy to see your smiling faces. Welcome very much. Let's do a couple announcements. So get your brain ready to carefully record the critical information I'm about to share with you. Ready to go?
what if I can't?
All right, Monday Madness. Hey, everybody's going into 7th or 8th grade, and even if you're going into 9th grade, you are welcome to come to Monday Madness. You guys, it's totally mad. It's awesome. In Sarah Park, 7 to 8 p.m. And there are occasional snacks. Have there been occasional snacks yet? Anjali?
Yes.
Awesome, great. Okay, and our just wonderful, brilliant summer intern, Anjali Narula, is heading this up. So, any questions about this? Any at all? Any? Oh, Kurt.
If any of you guys need a ride to this, don't hesitate to ask.
Yeah.
That's right. And you know what? In general, if you need a ride to anything church-related, we're going to hook that up. I was just explaining to Issei that
Even prom.
we have even prom. That's right. We just ordered a drone that will pick you up. So super easy. It's great. It's not that comfortable to ride on, but it works. It works. Cool. So Monday Madness. If you are going into the 7th or 8th grade, or if you're going into 9th grade, it's the summer of love, and you can go to any single thing you want to. Monday Madness is on the list. What else we got? Kurt Miller. Great. The 4th annual Lock Your Face In. I cannot believe that it's the 4th one of these things. This is our annual Flash Lock-In. So if you are, again, in Flash, 7th, 8th, or going into 9th grade, come to this thing. It's not this Friday, because that's the 4th of July. It's the next Friday, the 10th to the 11th. I believe we'll play Murder in the Dark. And this year, it will feature actual murders, so that'll be exciting.
Yeah!
Please, Livy will be our murderer, so if you're into getting murdered by Livy, this is your event. And you know what? Livy's so great, who doesn't want to be murdered by her? Cool, so make sure you RSVP, it's going to be super fun. This thing has always been a blast, and there will probably most likely be chocolate chip pancakes the morning after. Cool. Delish, that's right. Okay, what else we got here? What else we got? Awesome summer Bible reading's been super good, and some of the things that your friend of mine, Lucas, is going to share tonight from the summer reading. It's online. Do we have printouts?
Yeah, they were up there.
They're right here.
Yep,
Beat this, guys, right here. So if you are searching for something to do for your summer God time, this is awesome. One thing that's really cool is that we all do it together, and it's cool to talk about. It's cool when Lucas shares from it. So grab one of these if you would like. If you don't want a paper copy because trees, it's on our Facebook page if you'd like. So, cool. All right, Nick has strategically placed the hard copies if you really need the specifics of where it is. Good job, Nick. Awesome. Self-explanatory, right up in here. So, man, our Tuesday timeouts have been super good. I'm sure laser tag was fun. Kurt explained to me this morning that he has a blister on his trigger finger from pulling the trigger so many times last night.
Right there.
Same.
And you know what? I would say in general that is a great approach to life. You want to pull the trigger so many times that you get a blister from it. That's my life advice for me to you. So next week we're going to play dodgeball, and gosh, it's going to be awesome. I can't wait. Yeah, Anjali, you got a question?
Can I come?
Yeah, totally.
Can I? No. No, that's going to be scary.
I'm not even sure what to say about this because it's just so exciting to play an hour long of dodgeball. and the brutality and the love. What if we're on the same team as her? Okay, that's right. You get to make a team, Lucas. There it is. All right. So next Tuesday night, 7 8 p.m. in the gym. We have planned for it to be fun. Period. Great. What else we got? Okay, Great America. Yes, is coming up, and there's a date.
There it is. When is it? It's I'm sorry.
Keeping peeps guessing. Just, you know what? We're really hyping the mystery on this event. So if I were you, I would go to Great America every day until you see Kurt there.
It's the 9th.
That's what we're hoping for.
It's the 9th.
Awesome. So next
June
week,
9, July 9th.
next Thursday, July 9, we're going to leave here at 9 a.m. So standard stuff. Please RSVP to youth at sbpc.us. We're going to ask you guys to get your own tickets this time because we got them last time and we had like 6 or 7 left over and we're just like throwing away money. So we're going to let you guys get your own tickets. And if you want to team up, that's awesome. Maybe you have your own season pass or something. July 9, get your Ow. It's like 5 V's. Own tickets, yes.
Get your own RSVP July 9th.
That's right. This is like a sinking stick figure, sinking head first. Great. So Great America's gonna be super fun. What else we got here, everybody?
That's it.
Nada? Okay, cool. Awesome. I'm gonna invite your friend and mine, Kurt Miller, up to pray before we sing some songs of Jesus. Woo!
Go, Kurt.
Yeah, me.
You want this? No. Okay. All right, guys, let's pray.
Jesus, thank you so much for this awesome opportunity that we have to once again be with each other and just be able to worship you. So during this time, focus our hearts and we love you. Amen.
Everybody stand up. Move forward if you like. Prepare your hands for clapping.
Put on your dancing shoes.
Where's my pen? I'm just gonna stand up here now.
All right, cool.
Okay, you ready, Kurt?
Oh, I'm ready. Are you ready? All right, let's go.
Thank you.
able to have new life, we are able to have new bodies, and we will be resurrected in you, God. We just thank you so much that you overtook death, that you overtook sin, and that you have broken all of that, and you've called us to be yours. So let's sing that Amazing Grace line one more time. Amazing grace, how sweet the sound that saved a wretch like me. Oh, I once was lost, but now I'm found. Was blind, but now I see. Amen. All right, guys. This is the portion where we release the junior hires down to the gym with Anjali, and we hopefully turn on some air conditioning. And high schoolers hug each other.
No one hug me. Some seats already come with sun chips. Others, you have to write your own sun chips. All right, everybody. I am so pleased to introduce to you your friend of mine, Lucas Fresh. One of the great traditions here at Summer Flash and Clue is hearing from, just the wisdom that our seniors always bring. So all the seniors on TMT are hopefully going to bring some thoughts this summer, and Lucas is going to be the first of them. I know, right? But next year, we'll have to have 2 or 3 summers to get back to this. That'll be great. Summer starts in April. Anyways, so I want for you to pay very careful attention. Open your minds and your hearts to Lucas Fresh. All right?
Hey everyone. Before I got started, I just wanted to say, you guys mean so much to me, and in writing this sermon, I was nervous because I just wanted to write the most perfect little thing for you guys. And I don't think it's perfect by any means, but I'm hoping that God will speak through me and just continue with you guys. It's going to be hard next year at college without you guys, but I love you, and I will find a way to live without you guys. So with that said, tonight I want to talk about God's silence and when God doesn't speak to us. So to kind of get to that point, to talk about when God does speak to us. So let's start there. So I'll never forget the first time I experienced God's presence. It was the summer of 2010, and I was at Mount Hermon's Ponderosa Lodge Summer Camp, as many of us are familiar with. It's an awesome camp. If you just got back, I'm glad that you went. If you are going to go. If you haven't gone, what are you doing? And so that summer that I was there was the summer between 7th and 8th grade, and I would probably describe 7th grade as the year from hell, with no holding back on that statement. It was terrible for me. In 7th grade, I was bullied mercilessly. I became insecure about everything about me. My parents divorced from about 5 years earlier finally caught up to me emotionally. This left me shattered with not one drop of self-esteem left in my body. So that was me when I showed up for camp. And I had gone to camp the year before and liked it for some reason, even though at that time I really didn't like any social situation. So I showed up, and I was cautious but interested in what would happen this year. And so like I said, it was my second time to camp, and this time I was greeted by a cabin and a counselor who loved and accepted me with joy and fun. All of my cabin mates were just like me, so socially awkward little middle schoolers. And my counselor, Paul, was just, the only way is like Matt, Kurt, and Grace like smushed together into one being. He was just incredible.
Mart. That's terrifying.
That's like how the Power Rangers combine. Oh yeah. Matt, that's Matt. Yeah, 2 nose piercings.
Yeah.
So Paul was great, and throughout that week I found myself, my barriers kind of falling away, and myself being able to open up a little bit more to my cabin and to Paul in a way that I hadn't been able to anyone else. And so throughout that week I found myself also getting kind of confused because we would go to the speaker at nighttime, and the speaker would talk about God as if he knew God. And I remember thinking that was really, really confusing. At the time, I had been going to church here, and I believed in God, but I believed in God the way I believed in George Washington was our first president. I was like, yeah. But there was like no emotional connection there. It meant nothing to me. George Washington's our president. Cool. So this kind of confusion actually drew me in that week. I wanted to know what was happening and why people were talking about God like this. And this came to a culmination one night at Fondy called Discipline of Silence, as again, many of you are familiar with. As many of you might know, Discipline of Silence is a night where everyone's invited to be quiet for 15 minutes to half an hour to, I forget how long it is, before we go into an amphitheater to worship that night. And so earlier that night, the speaker encouraged us to, if we hadn't before, ask God to come into our lives and to experience God's presence. And so I did pray, and that night I was completely transformed. I'm not going to get into the emotion or the changes that made in me that night, because I'm sure many of you know yourself what that's like. What I'm going to talk about next is where God isn't there, like I said. So, like I said, that was a great night, full of joy, full of love. And those feelings of joy and love lasted like 3 weeks after Ken, I'd say. And then slowly just faded away over the course of 8th grade. And I found myself going to church and interacting with people and not feeling God at all. And it was probably one of the hardest, 8th grade was probably the second hardest year of my life. And so, here's something that people, that I wish I had known at that time, but that I didn't know. And that's that God is not that feeling, and that feeling fades. Because I didn't realize that at the time. So when that feeling faded, I thought that God had just completely abandoned me there. But what's amazing and what's promised to us in the Bible is that God is with us. The Holy Spirit lives within us. To quote 1 Corinthians 3:16, which is the book that we're on for our summer Bible reading, God's temple... We are God's temples, and God dwells in our midst. It's written again in chapter 6, verse 17, where Paul says, "But whoever is united with the Lord is one with him in spirit." And again in verse 19, when Paul says, "Do you not know that your bodies are temples for the Holy Spirit, who is in you, whom you have received from God? You are not your own." It's repeated over and over again. Paul is trying to bash us over the head with this idea that God is with us. We are united with God if we have accepted him. Whether or not God is seen or felt or whatever, we are united with God. Now, had you told me this while I was going through that year, I would have been like, well, that's great, but what am I supposed to do with that? Because it's a really comforting thought, but I didn't know how to use it at the time. And this is another thing that I wish someone would have told me while I was going through, is that God works within the silence. Even though God feels like he's not there, like I talked about, you can't perceive the love that you felt once, God works within you. God is still trying to teach you something. That year after 8th grade, when I couldn't feel God, I was just hoping to make it back to summer camp, to experience God in that powerful way again. So when I got back there the next year, between 8th and 9th grade, and I felt nothing, it was a bit of a surprise for me, and kind of a letdown. It wasn't until a month after that I had started reading my Bible every day that I felt God speak again. It brought me to tears because the voice told me that the silence wasn't my fault, but a lesson trying to teach me that God was not only at camp or at worship or in this feeling or in the Bible, but so much bigger and has to be sought after with all of our lives. This is what Matt and Grace and Kurt mean when they encourage us to do summer Bible reading, is that we have to find a way to encounter God every day. We want to find this new big way to encounter God in all of his glory. For me, it used to be Bible reading, and it often still is. But I'd like to take some time tonight to introduce you to a new practice for me that I've done. So this summer, I started reading a book called Intimacy with God, Centering Prayer. It's right here, I brought it. That's no surprise. And it's probably the most influential book on spirituality that I've ever read. In it, Thomas Keating, who's a monk, so he knows all about this stuff, talks about all of Christian spirituality, but focuses on a practice called centering prayer. Now, when I first tried centering prayer, I was really, really, really frustrated because centering prayer requires you to do so little. And I'm a person who wants to do a lot. I want to just prove my worth. I want to do all these things. And centering prayer really requires you to do bare minimum. So centering prayer is a method of opening yourself so that God might speak to you. So here's how it works. I'm going to go over it and then I'll review maybe. You sit with your eyes closed, and you can do this in any posture, but being alert is best so you don't fall asleep, because that's happened to me. And when you are ready, you introduce a word to your mind. This word can be God, peace, love, Jesus, Christ, It doesn't really matter so long as the word doesn't distract you. And that word is a symbol of your intention to listen to God. And that's a complicated way of saying the word is the prayer. The word is a symbol of saying, God, be with me. God, I'm open to listen to you. So you sit still and you introduce the word silently in your head. You don't need to speak it. That's not how that works. And then you sit and wait. Some thoughts may come, and they often are important or show how God is speaking to you. But if the thoughts become distracting, then you return to the word. You return to being open to God rather than being distracted by those thoughts. So you sit there and listen to God, and sometimes God speaks in that moment, and other times not. But God works in you no matter what. But the best part of centering prayer is that you start to experience God in other ways too. You experience God in everyday life, in the transformation of your mind and everything. It's similar to other practices that we have in summer Bible reading or just normal prayer. And so what I'd like to do now is I'd like to take some time to have you guys try centering prayer. Like I said, this practice might make you really angry. It might make you peaceful. It is kind of just really depends on where you are right now. So I'll give you a minute to just spread out, gather yourselves. You sit quietly with your eyes closed and think of a word that you'll use to guide you back whenever you feel distracted. Sit comfortably. But not too comfortably. Not too comfortably. You don't want to fall asleep. When you're ready, you can open your eyes. So, as you guys might have encountered, that practice is extremely restful, and when repeated over time really does open you up to God's presence, as so many of these practices do. And what these practices kind of teach us and tell us is that even when God is silent, even when reading the Bible feels like a phone book, God is still with us, God is still working in us. So I'm wondering what this was like for you guys. What was it like just starting out, trying to get into the process of it? Yeah, Libby? Yeah. Definitely. And then, how was introducing the word that you guys chose? Living.
I felt like I was like choosing the wrong word.
Yeah. Elise.
I felt like the need to like instead of just like letting thoughts come to me, I felt the need to turn it into like a prayer, like so thinking like purposeful thoughts. Also kind of felt like if my word turned into like a bit of a chant.
Yeah, totally. I have been there. Yeah, Mark.
I like the word was just thumping away in the background. It would feel central, also
Oh yeah, Brendan.
Okay, well, I think my word changed like 15 times. Yeah, and then it always somehow ended back at cookies. That's when like straight to like cookies. And I was just like, word.
Yeah, Laura.
I started out with one word and I was saying it a lot, but like nothing was like happening, I guess. So then I was like, what's wrong? So I switched my word. I was like, well, this is dumb. I'm going back to the first word.
Yeah, Shay.
It was very easy for me to get off track because I'm just not used to being in my own head, I guess. And then it probably doesn't help that like everything else is silent too.
Yeah, I was trying to find music, but I forgot that the music was like a guided meditation sort of thing, so it had words, so I was like, oh, gotta stop that. Yeah, sorry about that. Yeah, Jenna.
So my word started out as love, and then that transformed into, like there were a bunch of tangents, and then it turned into college. And now I have a lot of like pointed out things for applications, and that's what I achieved in those 5 minutes or so. Instead of doing prayer time, and I don't know what happened, and I'm very confused, but I feel at peace.
Awesome. Yeah, I forgot to mention, but he says in here, don't change your word during the actual prayer time. I considered mentioning it, but I forgot to. But even amidst this, even amidst the laughter and distraction, I think that we all know that God somehow finds a way to use this, somehow finds a way to turn our prayer time, if it's not being effective, into college planning time, or something to help us with our future. So my encouragement to you all is to find some practice. It doesn't have to be this one. It can be anything to invite God into daily. So awesome. Yes. So I will meet you guys downstairs in the gym for a game.
Way to go.
Thanks, Lucas. I'm done clapping now. They call me Mr. Clappy.